It is the question on everyone's mind in the land of Lincoln right now. Will there be Illinois high school sports this fall? And what will they look like? How many and which at this point? And anybody who tells you they have clarity at this very moment is probably selling you something. But we do have a bit today of information more from the IHSA, courtesy of our good friend Jim Taylor at WRMJ Radio in Aledo. He had a 20-minute interview today with IHSA Executive Director Craig Anderson. Now, Anderson told Jim that he remains optimistic fall sports will start as slated, but does worry that they won't, that they could be delayed or that they could be canceled depending upon where we are with this pandemic and the coronavirus at any given time moving forward. He also said, did Anderson, that he was not averse to flipping the fall and spring schedules if that made more sense and more safety was provided in changing seasons and eliminating contact sports in the fall. Again, fall sports practices are slated to begin August the 10th, so the timetable is short, but the IHSA is expected to meet this month and discuss all of those contingencies that now seem to be on the table. And we've got a little Tri-State Triumphs bonus for you tonight. Earlier this week, you heard us catch up with Kirby Cannon, the pride of Alexandria, Missouri, who is a college football coach, probably is most famous for turning the program at Missouri S&T into more than just an afterthought at an engineering school. He certainly had some help by way of the Tri-States, as Kirby himself will tell you right here. The recruitment of Carthage's own Ashton Gronwald was a big turning point moment for all the goodness that was to come on the gridiron.
You know, the one thing about Ashton, and sometimes in college recruits don't give credit to these guys as much as we used to, is he was just a fabulous football player. You know, he was a running back primarily at Carthage. You know, went into the state championships a couple of times, I believe, there, and he was just well-rounded. I did suggest to him, you know, that he was going to need to move to wide receiver, you know, to have the best chance to be a dominating player. And I was at one of the Western Illinois practices. They were getting ready to play in the playoffs, and Coach Patterson, a dear friend of mine, was there. And I kind of hedged up to him and I said, "Are you going to offer Ashton Gronwald?" And he says, "I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that." And Coach Patterson just told me that they thought they could get a bigger back. And, you know, at that level, you don't do as much projecting position-wise. So when he said, you know, I don't know that we're going to get to him, you know, with the scholarship offer, I just left practice and drove immediately to Carthage, you know, and it matched up well. And Ashton wanted to be, and he did end up having a degree in mechanical engineering. And so I was over there, and I literally lived in Carthage for a while. You know, 3 or 4 days later, you know, I was at my parents' house in Cahokia, you know, on and off. And I don't know what the rule was in those days for contacts, but I stretched it, you know, and came in a couple times and didn't even see him, just to, you know, make sure that he knew that I was there. And then I saw him hit 2 clutch free throws in a basketball game against Hamilton, I think. You know, great rivalry in those days. And, you know, he was just as calm as could be. And I said, this is my man, you know, and, but even then, you know, he ended up improving so much and just being a great, great player. He could score. I think he holds, I don't know how many records at Missouri Rolla, but he scored in so many different ways. You know, he kickoff returns, punt returns, passes. We would hand it to him. He was just a dominating player. And again, just a great person too. I mean, he made us better in every way you can think of down there.
And we've got softball tonight from Southeast Iowa and city doubles tennis coming your way tonight at 10. Amber?